Hey everyone, welcome again to another edition of the B Schmaltzy Show. So I know we promised we were going to have Kevin Sorbo today. However, due to some technical difficulties, we could not get him connected to StreamYard. So we're going to go ahead and reschedule with him, and we're going to do this as a solo show today. So go ahead and pop in whenever you can. Let's get your comments. Let's get you guys in here. Let's get interactive, and let's just have an open conversation because this is going to be a fun show. It's going to be amazing. We're going to talk about lots of different things. I can bounce around any way we want, and so. Welcome again to the B Schmaltzy Show. So many of you know that I am the world's best belief coach. And one of the things that we've been talking about in the last few lives that I've had going on or some of the recent events is not just the belief, but how to, hey, how's it going? So how to really believe in what you got going on. Believe in the journey, not just the destination. You know, we talk a lot about living in the vision and being in the vision like it's already there and living it like it's already there. All right. Well, I thank you for that, Ryan. I really appreciate it. That means a lot. So it's about not just living in the vision, but living the journey along the way. Believe in the vision, live it like it's already happening, but also, you know, really, really love the journey. Love who you meet. Love the relationships. I mean, think about some of the folks that we've met, just the folks that are here on the show, watching the show, and the connections that we've made that are all a part of this journey that we're all on. And it's very exciting, super exciting, isn't it, Lori? And so along the belief, you know, we believe what's going to happen along the way. And so one of the things, right? One of the things that's happened with us recently, as you guys have been paying attention, is we've got this big event coming up. And this big event has started as a vision in my head and has ballooned to other people's heads, and now is snowballing into this monstrous thing. And it all started with a belief. But guess what? One of the funnest parts of this whole thing is the journey. And we're having a blast, having so much fun right now, just meeting new people. I mean, we were down at the Chamber of Commerce yesterday, met an amazing woman, Shannon, who is putting the word out to tons of people in the local area and helping us put the word out. I got off the phone earlier today with a local TV network that's going to get us get a commercial on a commercial spot on their TV network, you know, at no cost. And they're going to actually do the recording for us. I mean, there's just phenomenal stuff happening, and it's fun. It's enjoying the journey, like we talked about. You know, between Laban and I, we're meeting so many people. I mean, he was just talking to Tim Scher today. And he's one of the top hypnotherapists in the world. You know, it's just connection after connection after connection after connection after networking. And it's a blast. So much fun. Yeah, he's watching. Don't worry. He's in the other room. I can hear him. So enjoy the journey. And so when you're talking about the journey and think about where your journey is and where it's taking you or where you want it to go. So many people just continue day in and day out living each and every day like something's going to change, but they're not making the changes to do it. Maybe he was earlier for sure. I'm not sure if he is now. I swear to God, that guy owns like one shirt and only wears it half the time. Now he's shirtless over in the corner. So anyway, we all have our goals, we all have our missions, we all have our visions. So when you have that vision, you know, take that vision, run the path, and that path may be a straight path, maybe a scenic route up through the mountains, down through the valleys, through the woods, you know, around the corner, whatever it is. The scenic route may take you there. And whether it's the scenic route or the straight route, enjoy it. Enjoy it, because there's nothing like it. And then when you start, and then learn along the way, because that's the nice thing about having these paths, having these journeys, is that it's an opportunity for us to learn and grow and become who we really want to be. That's, I mean, just look at the bottom of the screen down here. That's what we talk about. Be the real you. Of course, until you really address what's deep down and what's behind everything and find out who that person is and who that real person is, can you really be that person? Or are you really being that person? And then when you find that person, then we find a way to upgrade your life. Wait, what did I just say? Did I say upgrade your life? Oh man, how? Sorry, when I say upgrade your life, I have to throw that in there. So when you get to that point, though, you really get to upgrade your life. And you get that real happiness, true happiness. I mean, you may not be making tons of money. You don't have to. You don't have to be happy with what you have. You know, it's Jim Rohn, and it's one of my favorite statements Jim Rohn makes about being happy. And right? Okay. Yeah, I know he's gone. Sorry, I hate to say it to you, but we'll have to. We're in a rebuilding year for us Seahawks fans. Yeah, Kevin didn't make it, Diana. He wasn't able to make it today. Unfortunately, we had a connection issue, but we will get him back on. We will reschedule. We were on the phone together talking about it. So, but anyway, now I lost where I was at. I was talking about Seahawks and Kevin Sorbo. But really, it's the journey. Where was I at? The journey. We're back to the journey. Somebody bounce in on the comments, quick. I really lost where I was at. So anyway, so we're back to when you really want to upgrade your life and you really want to find where that's at. You really want to make that next step. The happiness. There we were. We were back at the happiness. It's really one of my favorite Jim Rohn quotes, and it still holds strong for me today. And I share it with my clients. Yes, thank you, Hugh. We'll share it with my clients, and I share it with a lot of people. Is he said a lot of people say, "Oh, if I have more money, I'll be happier," or "If I have more money, I'll have a better life." And you know, one of Jim Rohn's famous statements. If you don't know who Jim Rohn is, one, shame on you. Two, look him up. One of Tony Robbins' mentors. But he says, more money is only going to make you more of what you already are. So if you're currently stressed out, you're currently in self-doubt mode, you're certainly currently in negative self-talk, you're in frustration, you're in negativity, more money is only going to make you more of that. Now, when you can figure out and you can do the deep work and really believe in what you have and who you are today and be happy with that and love what you have and where you're going, then more money will make you happier. But only if you're happy now. You know, I like to use Anika and I as the example. I mean, I'm sure Laban and Anakin can attest to this, but her and I have an amazing relationship. I mean, we've been together for almost 20 years now. And, you know, a lot of people have their relationships where they start off with their honeymoon period and things start to, you know, fall apart. We're the opposite. And since we've come, but part of that is because we've done that work. You know, we've done that work. Right. But we've done that inner work. We've done that work with ourselves. And there's always more. There's always more. I mean, we're going to spend a lifetime getting to know each other better. And that's part of how it works. However, right now, we know each other better than we did yesterday. And tomorrow, we'll know each other better than we did today. And part of that, and we communicate, and that makes us happy. And we're happy with what we have. We're happy with where we're going. And we're happy with the vision. We're happy with the journey. And the journey is huge. So I don't think so, you know, a lot of you guys know me as Schmaltzy. Anyone, real quick, pop on. Did I tell the story of how Schmaltzy came to be? Did I tell that on the first episode? Quick, somebody drop in the comments. Yes, no. Yes, no. Most of you were here. Anyone? Negative? Hey, Nick. Glad to see you on YouTube. Negative? All right, well, I'm going to tell it anyway. So part of the being Schmaltzy, it really was where it really started, got my mind on it from my wife, Anika. She is probably one of the goofiest, funniest, happiest people that, well, goofiest and funniest anyway. She loves to sing. She loves to dance. She loves to bop around. She'll sing a song out in the middle of like random song. It won't even be on the radio. It just pops into her head and she'll start singing. Well, for years and years, I used to let that embarrass me. I used to be like, oh, what are you doing? Let's knock it off. Tell her to stop. And it was really sad in a way that I was doing that, because I used to be that same way. I let the people pleasing and the programming get to me and get around me and just keep me from being that way, because I was working my way up the corporate ladder, and that's not the way you're supposed to act. So the history behind it, though, the history behind schmaltzy, or be schmaltzy. I was 17 years old. I went on an exchange program to Germany. That's where I first learned what it meant. So 17 years old, a month in Germany, no parents, got a couple of teacher chaperones, but they're staying with host families. We're staying with host families. The only time we're together is on side trips. So I'm 17 years old, teenager, hormones flaring, and I am flirting with every girl I see. And my German was okay, but not great. So it was like, imagine broken English and trying to flirt at the same time. I can imagine now, it's probably, it's not pretty. So all the guys started calling me schmaltzy. They started calling me schmaltzy. I just thought they were playing on my last name, because my last name is Schmaltz. I was like, okay, cool. Nickname, I'll take it, whatever. Didn't realize they were laughing behind my back. So a month goes by, great time, regardless of them calling me Schmaltzy or not, great time. Lots of different side trips, soccer, dancing, clubs, castles, a blast, especially for somebody at 17 years old. So the following summer, my host brother over there, my friend Marcus, he came back over to the United States to spend the summer here. We're going to do a road trip down from Washington State all the way down the coast of California. So he shows up, and first thing out of the gates, he starts calling me schmaltzy. And I'm like, schmaltzy, schmaltzy. I'm like, man, what is that? Why are you guys calling me that? He's like, you don't know? I said, no. He said, because when you were in Germany and you were out there flirting with all these girls, you had the cheesiest pickup lines, the sappiest stuff. Hold on, dog's going nuts. You were the cheesiest pickup lines. It was horrible. It was like the hardest thing to listen to as us guys. And so that was how schmaltzy came about. They were calling me schmaltzy because I was cheesy. I was like the cheesiest pickup lines, the horrible flirting. And, at 18 years old, I was kind of offended. I'm like, well, that's not cool. Maybe you might get a B schmaltzy hat there, Hugh. So I'm like 18. I'm like, that's not cool. That's pretty offensive, to be called that. And I kind of think I'm at 18. You think you're the man. You think you're smooth. You're like, I got this. And so I kind of sat with that, and I was like, oh, that's not right. So now fast forward 20 years plus, 22 years actually. And so now I started coaching. I've been coaching through my entire corporate career, but always on there. But as a business, I'm into my coaching world now, and I'm trying to figure out how do I separate myself from everybody else? What is it about me that's different than all the rest of these coaches out there? And I had a dream one night about spending that time in Germany, about these guys calling me schmaltzy and remembering what it meant. And I woke up that next day and I'm like, that's it. Schmaltzy, be schmaltzy. That's it. That's the thing. That's it. That's us. That's me. And it was more than just the separating me from everybody else. There was more than that. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, and yes, Hugh. And what was fun about that, though, is not just the idea of separating myself. It was bringing me back to my core. Back to my core. I had spent years worried about what other people were going to think. I'd spent years suppressing who I really was, because I was that guy. I was that cheesy, sappy. I mean, I was that way even after, even though I was kind of offended at 18 when he told me that. You look at my late teens, early 20s. That was me. I was the goofy guy, the cheesy guy. I mean, never like annoyingly so, at least to my knowledge. However, that's who I was, and I wasn't owning it. You know, when I worked in the corporate world, I did not own that piece of me. So this was able to bring me back into my core, to my true self, to my true belief, to being the real me. And because of that, it really, really made a big difference. And it allowed me to be that person and to sing and dance and laugh and goof and have a good time. Now my wife starts dancing, I dance with her, or I start dancing and she dances with me, or singing, or whatever, you know. Yes, we all do, Ryan. We do. And guess what? It makes us human. We're human beings. Welcome to planet Earth. We're always going to have those fears of what other people think. We're always going to have that. However, if you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing and you believe in your vision, it makes it easier to find that courage to overcome those fears. People pleaserism is something that's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. We're always going to have it. I don't know anyone, I've never met to this day, met anybody who has been able to completely eliminate being a people pleaser or worry or fear of what others think. It's always going to be there at some level. Now, whether we choose to act on it or not is a different story. Whether we choose to find the courage to overcome it is a different story. Whether we believe enough in what we're doing to not give a rat's ass is a different story. And that's where you make the choice. That's where we all as people have the choice to make that choice. And so what choice are you going to make? So I know, Ryan, you brought this up, and Nick, you're seconding it. When you're given that opportunity, when you're given that choice, think about what choice you're going to make. I'm not asking you to answer now, but next time you're in that spot, think about it. Think about that choice. Am I going to worry about what that person thinks? One of my favorite things to talk to folks about, or to ask people to do, is to sing. So many people like to sing. They like to turn on the radio. Most people do it in the shower, though, or in the comfort of their own home when nobody's around. Stereo's blasted, like if they're cleaning the house, dancing around, headphones in, or stereo turned up while they're vacuuming, sweeping, whatever. Lots of people do that. Or in the shower, the radio's outside the shower and they're singing and dancing in the shower. So, thank you. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Hugh. You're right. Conquering the possibility of surrendering to fear. So I challenge each of you, and I challenge each of you this way. When you're driving, some of us don't have a hard time with it. Some of us do. When you're driving, and you just play a song playlist, or turn on a station you know is going to play songs you love, and just start belching them out. Just your favorite song comes on, just let it fly. Just sing as loud as you can. Nobody's going to hear you unless you got your windows down, which then who cares? But just let it fly. So many of us are like, we're driving, we're like, we're looking at the window next to us. We're like, oh, I hope they don't see me singing. You don't see me, no, I'm good. Now just let it fly. Let it blow it up. Sing it out loud. Who cares if they're laughing at you? Have you ever seen the movie Click, with Adam Sandler? You get that guy in the convertible next to him that's singing that loud song and he looks all funny and he hits the mute button. Well, be that guy. Who cares? Sing and dance in the car. Who cares who sees you? Because what happens? When you sing out loud, you really love it, you really get into it, you really enjoy it. Man, you get your blood flowing, you get the endorphins going, you get all excited, and you get fired up and motivated. So when you get out of the car, you're like, yeah, let's go. What's up? What's going on? What are you doing now? And it works. It works. It really pumps you up. It gets you fired up. It gets you going. It gets you moving down the direction to whatever you need to do. Fun motivation technique. Fun. And so this is one of the things that my wife and I love to do. We love to do that. We love to sing and dance. And we love to be goofballs. Again, Laban and Anna can probably tell you, we've been pretty pretty openly goofballs while they've been here staying with us for the last few days. And that's what it's like to be exactly right. Schmaltzy like no one's watching. And because quite frankly, we don't care if they are. Hence the reason Laban walks around without a shirt all day. In fact, you guys watched my stories earlier. He was out taking a Zoom call with the shirt off by the pool earlier. I was like, swear to God, this guy doesn't wear a shirt. It's all good. Yes, yes. That's authentic singing. That's exactly right. It's exactly right. The greatest pastimes of watching someone else unleashed while they're driving. That's exactly right, Hugh. And it's so much fun. So much fun if you let it be fun. Now, if you're worried about what others think, it's not going to be fun. But you got to enjoy it. Life's meant to be lived. It's meant to be enjoyed. Who cares what other people think? I mean, Hugh, you were giving me a hard time. It's like, not hard time, but you were commenting on something earlier about, I made a mention in a post earlier about, how Laban and I talked to Les Brown on the phone yesterday. And before, that might have been a little different, might have been a little stressful to reach out. Now, I'm not saying the conversation wasn't a little iffy at first, or the idea behind it still gets me a little bit. Although it was Hugh that said something to me that he was right. Previously, when I talked about it, I'm like, oh, cool, I get to share a stage with Les Brown. And then Hugh pointed out to me, he's like, I think Les Brown gets to share the stage with you. I'm like, you're right. And so today he made a comment, even though my live today was a little different context. I agreed with what he was saying. And so if you look at the particular post I was talking about, I actually sent him an image which shows a little more, shows me as the headliner. And for anyone who doesn't know, a lot of the people that are here right now are going to be speakers at our event. Nick and Ryan are going to be speakers. Melissa's going to be a speaker. Sarah's going to be a speaker. Laban's going to be a speaker. All of us are going to be on stage. And Les Brown, Kevin Sorbo, Tom Ziegler, Waldo Waldman, they all get to be on stage with us. Right? Kellen Flugiger, I feel like Steve Kribda, all of us. It's going to be a great, great, great packed event. This is going to be an amazing, amazing upgrade your life event. Oh man, there I go again. I have way too much fun with this video button over here. But it's, yeah, thank you, Hugh. It's going to be a large part of it. Thank you for that. So for those of you, again, I don't mean to sidetrack here on, I'm not doing this as a promo, but this show is not supposed to be a promo. However, we just met with the Chamber of Commerce yesterday, and it's going to be huge. And the word's going to go out to 1,400 people. And this thing's going to sell out fast. I mean, we've declared, Laban and I have declared that we're going to sell this thing out. The live tickets out in the next 60 days, which is now 56 days from when we made the declaration. And that Chamber of Commerce meeting was a big, big deal because there's 1,400 businesses in the chamber right now. All of them are going to get notified of what's going on and what's happening. They're all going to get notified on Monday, actually, of the event, of the business, etc. And they're all going to have an opportunity to get tickets and or sponsor the event. So it's going to be huge. And one thing we didn't realize until this week, which is also amazing, is apparently the venue that we chose, which unbeknownst to us at the time, is actually the place to be. So most local businesses in the area say, oh, if there's something going on in the Edgewater, it's got to be big. We want to be a part of it. So apparently the venue that was chosen is actually the best venue you can possibly have on the beach because it's the most renowned for having the biggest and best events. So that was another fun thing we found out today. And you know, between Laban and I having this conversation with the VP of the Chamber of Commerce yesterday, she was just having a blast. We were having a great conversation. We were having a great conversation with her yesterday. She just started firing off names and cell phone numbers. So she just started sending us cell phone numbers and names for people that would be huge in this. And one of those was that TV show I was telling you about. So we're likely, in fact, not likely, we are going to have a spot on a local TV network that broadcasts all over the country. And so it'll be kind of fun. We're going to also get on the local TV channels, ESPN, radio. We're going to have a spot on that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to sell out fast. So for those of you out there listening that haven't bought your tickets yet, I would highly suggest you do that pretty quickly because it's not going to last very long. The early bird tickets, go to the website at the bottom there. Early bird tickets are going to sell out fast. They are going like hotcakes, and the price is going to go up. And we're not gonna stop that. We've said we're gonna raise them. We're gonna raise them. So get them now while you can at the early bird pricing. And if you want to upgrade to VIP, get yourself a table versus a chair. So amazing stuff. But the point of the whole event, and this is where we'll go back to this. I'm not promoting the event, so to speak, but yeah, yes. The ultimate being yes. However, I've been cautious about that because we haven't promoted this in the Ultimate Coach Facebook group because it's not technically an ultimate event, an ultimate experience, etc. So we haven't gone there yet, especially since they've got their London event going on. However, the purpose of this event, this is the one part I encourage you guys listening to do more of, and one thing that I have pushed myself to more, and even Laban's got me a couple times this week and pointed it out, is that when you do it from a place, when you take these actions from a place of service versus a place of need, or like, Ryan and I, or Nick and I have talked about survival mode. When you take that out of the picture, you take the dollars out of the picture, you take your own personal needs out of the picture, and you figure out what the benefit is for the other people, it starts happening like that. When we started focusing on how this event can help the guests and help the attendees and help the speakers and help those, and it has just started going boom, boom, boom. Things are clicking. Yes, thank you for the clarification, Hugh. Appreciate it. But it just starts clicking when you take that out of there. So if you got your own practice you're working on, or your own business, you're an entrepreneur, or even your career, when you start taking the selfishness out of it, and you start living in the service of others, whether it's employees, coworkers, clients, customers, you start putting them first, man, watch it just start to roll. Watch it start to roll. Watch things start to blow up right before your very eyes. And you're just going to sit back one day and you're going to go, where did all this come from? I'm doing that already. Where did all this come from? But it does. It happens because we started thinking about putting others first, being in the service of others. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying forget about what you got going on, because you can't do that. You still have tasks to take care of. You still have events, things to take care of. I mean, it's crazy how many little details go into something like this. So for anybody who's thinking about running an event, make sure you understand what you're getting into, or ask me, because it's really kind of a big deal. Fortunately, I've had a little experience helping with some of those things, so it's really worked out well. So really, we'll circle back a little bit. Oh, I'm not a big fan of that phrase. We're going to come back a little bit to the be schmaltzy, like we started talking about earlier. And so when I talk about being schmaltzy, when I end my shows or end my lives or end some of my posts with be schmaltzy, or don't forget to be schmaltzy, always be schmaltzy, what I'm really saying is be the real you. Because even though being schmaltzy is the real me, it's the real Tony. Yes, it means overly sappy and cheesy. I'm also kind of telling you to be sappy and cheesy. Yes, it'll be done by next week, actually, as soon as I get rid of these house guests. And I say that in the most loving way possible. I actually enjoy them here. But when the house guests are gone next week, we're going to get back on that. We've already had the conversation several days. And the garage is clean now, so it'll be easier. So when I talk about being schmaltzy, I'm really talking about being the real you, because that's who I am. The real me is being schmaltzy. I am that sappy, goofy, cheesy guy that loves to have fun, joke around, and be funny, even though it's kind of a serious talk today. But however, when I'm saying that, I'm like, be the real you. Be the real you. Discover who that is. Remember, I just finished telling you the story that it took a 20-year hiatus, from that term schmaltzy, and a dream for me to get past my own head and figure out what it was, which is funny in a way, because it was almost 2 years after I had addressed many of my limiting beliefs. You know, I have a mentor of mine, Brian Finale. Guy is phenomenal at digging into your head. I mean, he's taken time. He's studied and practiced NLP and hypnosis for years and years. And so he's great at digging into your head and getting you out of your limiting beliefs and showing you the path, or showing you what it is. Addressing it is up to you, but identifying it is the first thing. And he helped me find those limiting beliefs, identify them, and I addressed those. But it didn't mean I found who I really was. You know, and you find it in the strangest ways, strangest places. Like the trip to Germany, a 20-year hiatus, and a dream. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Hugh. It is. It is incredible. If you let yourself live it. If you let yourself live the dream. Coincidentally, though, it's kind of funny you say that, because the guy that I'm talking about, Brian Finale, his events that he used to run were actually called Live the Dream. So it's funny you mentioned that, especially since that was supposed to be my first stage appearance until the pandemic happened and all that got canceled. All right, so before I move on to anything else, Q&A time. Who's got a question for the Schmaltzinator? The Sir Schmaltzalot, as Dave Orton likes to call me. Anything, quick. Rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire. In fact, it's funny, I used to run, back when in my affiliate marketing days before I got into coaching, I used to run challenges that were called the Schmaltzinator challenges, and I'd superimpose my face on Terminator. I actually still have some of those. I wish I would have had those prepared to show you guys. I used to actually superimpose my face on all kinds of different movie posters, and I'd run challenges that way. Mostly water, mostly water, mostly water. Oh, well, this is tea and this is water. So I got a little bit of both going. I am a tea drinker. My dentist hates me for it because I have crooked teeth down here. It is, no matter how much I floss or brush, I still get staining, and I have to go get my teeth cleaned typically every three months versus 6 months to a year, like most people. No cavities or anything, just got to get the stains removed. I've tried lots of different home products, and it's not it's not as effective as getting in there and then using the little blaster they have. Oh, maybe I should buy one of those. What else? That was an easy one. You got to come up with something harder than that. Great question, Ryan. Very good question. When I'm feeling smaller at a low point, what do I do to move through it quickly? So that, in reality, for me personally, the biggest thing is, absolutely, Nick, absolutely. So for me, Ryan, one of the biggest things is the community around us. It's folks like you, it's folks like Nick, it's folks like Laban, folks like Steve Kribda, it's folks like Hugh, it's Michael, it's all the folks that we've interacted, Steve Artisan, Steve Chandler. It's the people that we know, that we interact with. And I used to really be one of those guys that bottled it up. I bottled it up huge. I found that doesn't do any good. Doesn't do anyone any good to bottle it up inside. No, my last low point was actually addressed by Nick himself. You know, Nick and I got on a call, and it was a coincidence. It was a total coincidence that I had hit a low point earlier that week, and him and I had already had a call scheduled, so I didn't bother reaching out to anybody else. But him and I got on a call, and he pulled me out. He pulled me out of survival mode. He pulled me out of survival mode, and it really made a huge difference. So lean on us, Ryan. Lean on us, absolutely. Still working on that, Hugh. Still working on being Tony. You know, there's always ways to be more of myself, and I'm discovering more and more every day. However, I can tell you that I am more Tony today than I was yesterday, and I will be more Tony tomorrow than I was today. So Ryan, lean on the people around you. Lean on your tribe. Lean on your network. Lean on those folks. Don't keep it bottled inside. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to get on a Zoom call or a phone call. Pick up the phone, talk to me, talk to Nick, talk to any of these folks that you know will understand, that you know have been there. It's the hardest part is reaching out, because then we have to admit that there's a problem. We have to talk about there's something not right. I can't say a problem, but something that's not 100%, or something that's not going the way we intended it to. So that means we need to have that discussion. We need to be vulnerable. That's the word I'm looking for, vulnerable. And I hate to be semi-sexist about this, but that's a lot of times that's kind of challenging for us men. Being vulnerable is challenging, especially with another man. Having a conversation with a man, and depending on the level of friendship or trust level you have, is challenging. We've been raised to be manly men. We're the men. No, we don't cry. We don't get like this. It's not true. It's not true. We're big pansies like anybody else. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. 100%, Hugh. I agree. Out of tea, darn it. So that's really how I do it, Ryan. And of course, I also do a lot of meditating. Walks and jogs are huge. If I'm doing a schmaltzy walk and I'm not on a video, it's probably because I'm doing some meditating and I'm doing some thinking. Fishing's a huge one for me. However, since I sold my boat, it's a little more challenging, because my Zen moments fishing are actually just floating in the boat. Until I get my next boat, I got to make sure I get out with a buddy. But I used to just take the boat out by myself and just float. I'd have a line in the water, but I wouldn't really be fishing hard. I'd just be relaxing, calm water, flat water, floating along. Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. I love doing them. And that gimbal that Townsend sent me, that makes it nice and smooth. Somebody made a comment the other day. How'd you keep your camera so smooth? It's pretty fun. So those are just some ways. So one of the ways, Ryan, that to give you another method that really helped me a lot when I was still working in the corporate life, after I'd started hiring coaches, and this was my longtime coach, said to me, he's like, and yes, it's a reference to a movie, and you'll get it as soon as I say it. He said, find your happy place. And for the first person that names that movie, you get an attaboy. But find your happy place. And it truly is. It's find that place mentally. Find that place that if you had anywhere in the world you could be, that you would be completely calm, joyful, stress-free. Visualize that place. Even if you have to close your eyes and visualize that place and be in that place. And just let all your cares go away. All your cares go away. Yay, you get an ad boy. But let all your cares go away. And it was huge. When I used to work, when I was in the corporate world, the last company I worked at in the corporate world, it was really a challenging place. It was a poorly led organization, and there was a lot of stress. Could be if you allowed it to be. Many times I would walk outside, or I'd walk out to my truck, or I'd go hide somewhere and just find that happy place. Really, that's awesome, Lori. So find that happy place. I would find that happy place. I would sit with it. Then I'd be there. And sometimes it would be 2 minutes. Sometimes it'd be 10 minutes. Sometimes it'd be 15 minutes. But when you find that place and you really find that moment and that point of relaxation and happiness and joy, and you visualize yourself like me floating on the boat with the fishing line in the water. I'm not catching fish, because fish is work. Catching fish is work. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love fishing. I love everything about it. But catching the fish is actually work. Sitting there waiting for the fish to bite, it's not. Now, me, I prefer like floating in a boat where I'm actually moving, not just sitting still. But for everyone, it's different. I know some people, it's sitting by the river and hearing the river run by. Other people, it's sitting on the beach, letting the beach waves come in. It's different for everybody. And so for you, find out what that is for you, Ryan. The shack. The shack is your recommendation? You mean for you go to the shed or the shack to discover how to release your great sadness? I'm not sure what you mean by the shack. If it's literal term, or if you're talking about a show, if you're talking about what do you mean there, Hugh? Anyway, so Ryan, does that help? Does that really help with the couple of primary methods that I use personally when I'm feeling low? Is, well, three, I guess. I talked about meditation. I talked about reaching out to your network, to your tribe, to those you trust. Good call, Hugh. That's somebody else has suggested that one to me, and I have not got it yet. You know, you can see behind me, everyone keeps telling me I need a man-sized bookshelf now, because I actually have like a stack here, like over on my desk, and then the shelf behind me, and I'm running out of space fast. Cool, Ryan. Glad to hear it. What else can I help you guys with today? We got 20 more minutes. We got all kinds of time, man. Jeez. I mean, maybe I should just play another quick schmaltzy video. So, Lori, that is amazing. Thank you for so much for that one. That was one I forgot about, and I'm glad you reminded me. Laughter is huge. That was one of the other ones, actually, Ryan, that I actually talk about. I actually ask people to start laughing. Find a way to laugh. You know, however it is. You can sit here and you can look up comedy stuff like Lori was talking about, blooper reels, comedians, whatever it is that you know is going to have funny movie, something you know that's going to have you laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing until you cry, is the great way to bring yourself up. A great way to bring yourself up. I constantly am pulling up some comedians and stuff, and it's amazing. And laughter is another one of those that releases the endorphins. It automatically improves your mood. It really gets you going. Thank you. I love videos. I have fun with those. All right, so Hugh asked, how old is my Seahawks hat? Okay, so that one is actually the second of the same version. The first one that I had that was the exact same hat. In fact, it was my kids that actually got me this particular hat for Christmas year before last, because the one I had before, which was actually about 12 to 15 years old, give or take a year or two or 8, that one blew off while we were on a fishing derby out here in the Gulf of Mexico like 2 years ago. And it was funny because I was the one who had been warning everybody when we're underway, when we're cruising, 35, 40 miles an hour, to make sure you have your hat on, you're tight or turn it around. Meanwhile, I'm the only guy who had my hat on forward. We're full blast coming back in from the fishing derby, which was a great derby, by the way. I go to take a drink of water like this, and the bill goes boop, right off into the water. And I'm like, I mean, there was no way we were getting it. I mean, it was toast. It was gone. And so the guys offered to turn around, and I'm like, nope, it's gone. Don't worry about it. We're not going to go find that one again. However, it was not only my favorite team, the Seattle Seahawks, but it was also the most comfortable hat I've probably ever had. I mean, it just fit just right. And the bill was curved right. I mean, the fit was perfect. And so I was super disappointed. At first I was like, yeah, whatever. And then of course the next day I'm going to the yard break. I go to grab it. I'm like, oh. so I put in the request. To get that one back for Christmas. And the kids came through, even though it was more expensive this time. They definitely came through for me. Oh, awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I knew you meant Zorn. That's weird that it came out Zoroastrian, but yeah, I knew you meant Jim Zorn, which is awesome. So for those of you that don't know, Jim Zorn is probably outside of Russell Wilson, the best quarterback the Seattle Seahawks have ever seen. So what else, guys? What else? We have got 15 minutes left, and it has been a phenomenal time. Even though we couldn't get Kevin Sorbo on here. In fact, Nick, I'll have to talk to you about that, because he was struggling to get the He doesn't use Chrome apparently, which is part of the problem. And when he did try to download it, he couldn't get the StreamYard loaded. Really weird. We were on the phone for several minutes trying to get it going. I'll have to do some research to see if we can run a Zoom through here. So, but we'll get it back on. Don't worry. And we're gonna get Tom. We got Tom Ziegler coming up soon. We got John Cadillac Seville, who's a radio DJ out of Connecticut. He's gonna be coming up here in the next couple weeks. It's gonna be great lineups. Great lineups. Are you talking about the declaration about losing weight? Is that what you're talking about, Hugh? Where am I at with that? If I'm guessing that's the question, you can jump in here if it's not. So to give you an idea of where, and I can't speak for Laban because he's not used to having good, he's not used to having somebody cook for him all the time. So he's been eating a lot here. However, myself, I've been pretty good, pretty disciplined. So to give you an idea, at the Ultimate Experience in January, I was 230 pounds. And as of this morning, I was 215.5. Now, until we made the at the point that Laban and I made the declaration, which was the first day he got here, I was 222. So I'm down 7 pounds just in the last week and a half. So that's on the way to the declaration is 185 pounds by our event in September. So that's going to happen. You're going to see, not only are we showing up to help you guys transform your lives and help you guys upgrade your lives, we're going to show up as a led by example of a transformation that already happened. And so when you show up, you're going to see you're going to see 2 transformed hosts, and you're going to show up and hear lots of other people showing you how to upgrade your life. Upgrade your life. Oh wow, did I say that out loud? No, you're not. You're gaining me. You're gaining the real me. You're gaining the real me, because that is something that for years and years and years, I was always the athletic guy, always the guy that was the one that was fit and in shape and playing softball, playing soccer, hiking, doing all this. So the heavier Tony is not the real Tony. That's the Tony that I've been pretending to be, the health and physical Tony that I've been pretending to be for the last few years. But in reality, the Tony that I am really comfortable with and that I'm happy with, and back to the happy part, is the one that's 185 pounds and lean, because that's where I was for most of my adult life. I was in that realm and out being way more active than I am now. So no, you're not losing me. You are gaining the rest of me. You asked me. You said, so when is Tony going to become Tony? Well, I already told you that's going to be an ongoing thing, and this is part of it. So it's ongoing. Tony finding Tony is ongoing, and this is part of finding the real Tony and becoming the real Tony again. Does that answer your question, Hugh? All right. What else? Who else? Let's hear another one. So I've got several. And that last one was didn't have me in it. You're right. And I don't know why. It was just the editing software, because I plugged it into a program that actually just took the pictures that were there and random them around. But here, how about I show you another one where it does have me in it, so you can feel better about it. Let me show you. What did you miss, Michael? Kevin Sorbo was not able to make it today. We could not get him connected to StreamYard. So unfortunately, we did not get him on today, but we will get him on again. Hey, Paul, glad to see you. Glad you made it. Yes. So all the broadcast places, I will definitely get you all that information that we go live on. Not sure I could list them all here, but there's a couple different groups. It's on LinkedIn. It's on two different YouTube channels, a couple different Facebook groups, and a couple different Facebook pages. So send me that email you were talking about, Paul, and I will get you a list of all of that as well. Because it's a lot of fun. And if you heard just a minute ago, Paul, we were actually supposed to have Kevin Sorbo on today. I think I mentioned that to you earlier, aka Hercules from the '90s series. However, he was not able to get connected to StreamYard. He doesn't use. Yeah, awesome, uh, awesome. And I love that you called me Skippy because I use that word all the time. Which one? Which one, Hugh? Are you talking about the picture? The picture that I sent you earlier? Oh, that's awesome, Paul. Thank you. Are you talking about the digital flyer that I sent you earlier that had showing me as the host and the main speaker there? So I don't think I can load that here because I haven't had it loaded before. Let me see if I can quickly do that. I might be able to make that happen real quick. Let's see if I can make that a. See if I can share that real quick here. That might be a kind of a challenge. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. I can share that. Let me pull that up real quick. So this is the one that Hugh's talking about because he was, back to the comment I was telling you earlier about how we were talking about how these guys should be proud to be on stage with me. And so I said, I am that guy. I am the headliner. And so here we, oh, is it going to do share screen? Let's see if I can do this here. It's been a while. So, all right, there we go. Are you seeing it? There you go. There's the one. There's the one he was talking about. This is one of our digital flyers. One of our digital flyers. Each one of our speakers is going to get one of these. In fact, as a matter of fact, I was going to send them out before the show and ran out of time. So for Nick and Ryan and everybody listening here that's a part of our event coming up, you're all going to get one that has you headline like I am here and with all the other keynotes over here. And then of course we have our main flyer, which has all of the speakers on it. So anyway, that's what this is. That's what he was talking about. And it's going to be this, again, this event's going to be huge. This is going to be something like nothing's been seen in 2022. This is an event to change the path of events moving forward. A lineup like this, an in-person lineup like this has not been seen since at least a pre-pandemic. So this is going to be huge. It's going to be really huge. So speaking of events, why don't I, no, I've already played enough videos to do that. All right, guys, we got a few minutes left. We got 7 minutes left. Let's see one more thing. Yes, it is, Michael. Who else has one more thing for me here? Like you've seen, we're winging it today. We're missing our guest. We're missing our guest today. So we're winging it. I'm okay winging it. I like winging it. Oh yeah, like I said, don't forget, if you get in, make sure you get your VIP ticket because you're also going to get a free T-shirt. And right now I'm playing around with some designs, so that I'll share another screen with you here. So this is very rudimentary. It's not exactly what it's going to be, but I'll show you. Here's what here's a draft of what the front of the T-shirt is going to look like here. So you can see you got to upgrade your life. Now I'm going to work on these lettering to be a little more professional looking, but yeah, here's our logo right in the middle, upgrade your life, and then on the back we'll have, Panama City Beach, September 2022. So if you're upgraded to VIP, you'll automatically get a shirt thrown in. Otherwise, you'll be able to purchase some either before or at the event. So these will be available coming up soon, probably in the next week or two. We're going to make these available. So pretty cool, and they're going to have a couple different styles, but this is similar to this is what's going to be available at the event. But we're going to, like I said, we're going to professionalize the upgrade your life, and then the logo will be in the middle. So cool stuff. Lots of stuff happening. I mean, it's really happening so fast, so big, so huge, and it's going to be an amazing time. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes. Yes, 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 it is, Rebecca. Yes, it is. Guess who's getting a t-shirt? Uh, so she's getting a t-shirt. She's in. She's in. Good question, Paul. Very good question. So currently we have roughly 1,200. It's just over 1,200. I think it's 1,215 total seats available, and 215 of those are going to be VIP seats. So of the 1,215, you're going to have 215 that are VIPs that are tables. So you're actually going to have your own seat at a table. You're going to get your oversized goodie bag with books and t-shirt and other things. Now everybody's going to get some sort of goodie bag. However, yeah, that's right, Rebecca, you're getting the shirt. However, the bigger goodie bags with more stuff is going to come in the VIP area. Plus, being able to sit at a table and take notes and have some elbow space is going to be a whole lot better than the theater seating, which is going to be just, you know, seats right next to each other. So that's the difference between the regular and the VIP. But 1,200 seats, 1,215 seats currently available, and this is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. All right, guys, I got 4 more minutes. Any last questions? Otherwise, I'm going to call this episode a wrap, and I'll let you guys know who's. Oh, it's going to fill super fast, Paul. Super fast. You know, just the 1,400 that are businesses that are available through the Chamber of Commerce. You know, whether it's purchasing tickets or sponsorships, it's going to be super fast. We haven't even really started promoting yet. We've got ticket sales like Rebecca was talking about. She's coming in from overseas. I mean, we got people from all over the world coming to this event, and so it's going to be awesome. Ha ha ha. Yes, that's why I said when we were talking on the phone earlier, let's get together, Paul, because I have all that information for you. I'm not gonna release this information here because the people on this are mostly here to be audience and guest members. But I will definitely talk to you about that. It's gonna be phenomenal, and we do have a package which gets your logo on the back of the t-shirt. So we definitely have that. So Hugh, the weather then is going to be very nice. It's going to be like you're usually during the mid-September, you're looking at mid-80s. You still got some humidity, but it's not as bad as August. So instead of like 90% humidity to 100% humidity, you're looking at more like 60 to 75% humidity. Still humid, but not as bad. And the water temperatures are still warm. Yeah, exactly. Like Paul said, still warm. Water temperatures are still warm. Perfect for going in the water if you want to. Perfect sitting out on the beach if you want to. And it's even better for just walking. You know, the venue that we're having it at the Edgewater, you can literally go out from the front of it and walk to restaurants. You can walk across the street to restaurants. There's multiple hotels right on the same road, so you don't have to stay on site. You can still walk. Everything, there's a lot of stuff within walking distance, and there's even more stuff within, you know, short cab ride or Uber ride, or even rent a golf car. Some guys like to do that. So. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call the B. Schmaltzy Show a wrap, and we're going to see you guys next week. Next week, we've got, we don't know about the schedule exactly yet, so it's either going to be Tom Ziegler or, sorry, I got to answer this one. I will not have a fishing boat by then. However, I do have lots of fishing guide friends who are willing to give lots and lots of discounts to people who are a part of our event. However, this is still in the infancy stages, so I can't tell you how much of a discount. I can't tell you who yet because we're still working together on it. However, there will be lots of fishing charters available, and once we start locking these in, they'll be available through our website. So make sure you check out our website, which again is in the not completely in construction, but it's limited information at this point. But over the next week or two, you're going to see all this stuff start to balloon. You're going to see discounts from hotels. We got two meetings this week to get hotel discounts. We've got meetings with different like the fishing guides with other places. It's going to be awesome. So we're gonna make it happen. Oh yes, let's definitely chat, Paul. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. And as usual, always remember, never forget to be schmaltzy. Have a great night.